today we're going on a little drive. Just over to another county. I have to pick up some bulk chicken that I ordered. So I thought it'd be a nice time to give a scenic overview of the route that we're going to take. So hang in there and maybe you'll see something you haven't seen before. And if you have seen it, oh well, that's okay too. So, alright, off we go. I'm just leaving my place now. Just leaving now. So, we got a little snow earlier, but it's not sticking too much. It's already melting off the road, which is kind of good because the little mountain I have to go over sometimes in the winter, it can get kind of yucky there. But we'll be traveling from the Johnstown area over to the Bedford, PA area. And I'll be taking quite a few back roads, so you're going to get the real scenic view today. I don't know what else I'll talk about on the way, but I'll figure it out as we go. I'm getting kind of excited. It's almost the end of February, and I'm really wanting to get going on my cargo trailer conversion so that by the time next winter gets here, I'll be ready to go. I want to get it ready and practice a little bit locally here in the state of Pennsylvania, you know, with my doggies so they can get used to it. And I make sure that they're going to be fine with it before I take off with them. So, really kind of excited to do that. I think I'm going to start taking them even before I get my trailer and get it ready, because I do have a tent. It's a tent that attaches to the back of your SUV or your van, and it expands the space. Whoa, so there, that fell off. That wasn't good, was it? Okay, I better fix that. Okay, so that was creepy. My phone fell right off its mount. I think I have it fixed. Guess I'll find out, won't I? Alright, well, this is kind of cool. I'm going to take a whole lot of back roads because I just like that better than taking the main highway. It seems to be a lot more fun and scenic, and see a lot more nice things this way. I will be glad when we're not looking at this snow anymore, that's for sure. So what I'm going now is down through I'm gonna go down to a little town called Mineral Point. We're gonna go through there and then up over the mountain to get to the other mountain. So I'll be back when I get to something interesting to show you. So right now we're coming down into the little town Mineral Point, and it runs along the Little Conemaugh River is what you see down here to the right. And over here to the left and up on the hill is the breast of the dam. And that dam was built many years ago. Always kind of creeped me out having houses right here at the bottom of the breast of the dam, but so far so good. All's well. Anyway, so we'll just cross over this little river here. See, it's kind of full right now. I guess we've been having a lot of moisture around here, which is, I guess, a good thing, right? So we're going to have a little red light here. And then after we go through this, up around the bend, we'll start up over what they call Beach Hill. And it's a really curvy little road. Some of you out in the flatlands country are going to look at this and think, wow. I know my sister-in-law, when she married my brother and moved here from Ohio, where she's at is very flat. And she was amazed by this. As well was my husband when I had first met my husband. And he came here because he was from the eastern shore of Maryland. And he was amazed by all these curvy roads. Now we're going to start back up over the mountain. And this little place here, the entrance you see right here, it is to the Path of the Flood Trail, which goes down and leads down to Staple Bend Tunnel. And it's a nice trail. I haven't ever walked the whole distance of it, but one of these days I will. Sometimes I take the doggies and we go down and we walk part of the way, but we don't walk the whole thing. And that's simply because I've been out of shape, and of course that's improving over the last 2 years, so I may be able to do it now. We'll see one of these days. So you see, this is how we live around here. A little bit curvy and hilly, but it's okay. It's beautiful here. I love it here. I love my home. I just don't like it in the wintertime. The other 3 seasons are awesome. I just can't get used to the cold, and I don't like the cold, but that's okay. So, you're going to see on my channel now, it's not just about homesteading. We're going to do all kinds of different stuff. I'll throw some recipes in, and things about my dogs. You'll see me doing all kinds of stuff. And then, when we go camping or go on a road trip, I'm going to include that too. So, it's going to be kind of neat. All right. Now we're almost up to the top. And this will take us overland for a little while now. And then I'll get back to you when the scenery starts getting interesting again. So it was quite foggy this morning, and then it started snowing. So I'm glad now that that stopped. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a view of the scenery up here on the top before we start out into the boonies again. And I think that pretty cool. Alright, I think you can see what I'm talking about here. Maybe. Okay. I'm not used to this driving and chatting thing. Usually I'm by myself listening to music, but can't have the music on while I'm making the video because of the copyright thing. You know, YouTube won't like that. So we just won't listen to music right now. I could sing for you, but you know, that might be a little off too. Anyway. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes. So I'm just heading out through the east end of Johnstown and out of the county into the next county over. And a few red lights and stuff to go through here. I think I'll go back home the other way because I don't like coming through town here, and I don't live in Johnstown, so I prefer to stay out in the country, you know. But I just thought I'd I don't know what I thought I'd do. I'm just rambling on here because I'm not really sure how to narrate this drive. But anyway, I think I'm going to take a different route home. It's more out in the country than this one has been coming over. So now this will take us down. This is Route 56 that leads east out of the Johnstown area. And it goes over here through a little town called Wimber. And then over to Bedford, PA. And so when I start down over the top of the mountain out here in a little ways, well, I'll come back when I get on the 2-lane part out away from town. So here we are heading out the highway down toward the top of the mountain. And everything off to the right here is part of the Galitzin State Forest. And I want to come up here one of these days once the weather warms up and dries up a little bit in the spring, early summer. And I want to come and make a walking video, bring my dogs, and we can walk and check out some of the stuff here. I think they allow camping up in here, so I'm going to check that out and see. Now, both sides of the highway here are part of that. It's a really nice area. And this state forest, it goes all the way down through here. Now, there are the boundaries go back and forth because there are also residences scattered out through here that aren't part of the state forest area. It's pretty cool. It's kind of yucky in the wintertime up here. Pretty bad sometimes. I've lived in this general area most of my life, and I have yet to explore most areas. Isn't that funny how you live somewhere for a long, long time and somehow you want to go and explore all other parts of the country, but you forget about your own backyard sometimes. I think that cracks me up a little bit. Anyway, what are some of the things that you guys like to do when you're driving? Do you like to stop and just make impromptu shortcuts and take off and look at stuff? Or are you the kind that just drives from like point A to point B and gets there? Are you a planner or more of just a spur of the moment type thing? Me, I think I'm a little bit of both, but I think I'm more on the planning side. But I like spontaneous things too sometimes, because that's sort of fun. I'm thinking I wish I would have brought the doggies for a ride today, but being that I'm going to pick up almost 200 pounds of raw chicken, I think they might have wanted to get into that on the way home. So I guess I'll just have to take them for a ride on another day. They love chicken. In fact, most of the chicken is for them. They're raw fed. So I make a trek over here once every month or two. This little country store over here they'll have sales, different times, different sales each month. And I buy all of my chicken from them because they have the best price for it. So, and it varies from month to month, depending on the prices and what the prices are, I guess, that they have to pay for it. But it's reasonable. I can't get it in the store for what I pay over here. Sometimes times there's one local market that I have close to my house that will have sales on chicken, but they don't quite get as low as this. So if you figure in my time, which is, it's about an hour drive each way for me, and then the gas it costs me to come over here at about 17 miles per gallon. Would I get it for the same price if I waited for my local market to have it on sale? If I factored in all those things? Maybe. Probably sometimes. But it gets me out of the house because in the wintertime, I'm a hermit. I rarely go outside unless I have to. So this is nice. It breaks up the monotony for me in the wintertime. And I get to make a video for all of you. So now we're approaching the summit here, and the locals, this is called Pleasantville Mountain. I really don't know what the official name of this summit is. Maybe there's a little sign up here. I can't remember. Oh, here it is. It's the Allegheny Mountain Babcock Ridge, elevation 2,700 feet. Now I know that doesn't seem a lot for you out west folks, but here it is quite an elevation because it drops off very quickly down into the valley, the basin, and I wish I had the camera pointed out over the edge here. You might be able to see some of it. But it drops off very quickly, and it's a fairly steep grade. And I used to run this road back in my trucking days quite frequently. And back when they had little engines and things like that. Well, we won't go into that subject right now. But they've widened it over the years, and it's just beautiful in the summertime and the fall, especially when we have a real colorful fall. It's just gorgeous coming down through here. And this on the left, most of this over here on the left is part of that state forest. And down here, when we get close to down by the U-curve that you'll see here in a minute, there's a road that turns off to the left, and I decided to, speaking of spontaneous rides, one day I was on my way back from this little market, and I had my sister with me, and I said to her, why don't we just take this road and see where it goes? So it was in the summertime, because I wouldn't do that in the winter. And so we turned off and we followed it all the way out. And you can see it's this little turnoff right here in front of us, right there to the left, called Mountain Road. And so I took that, followed it all the way back, and it runs along the ridge of the mountain back there. And at times you can see for miles and miles and miles out over the edge of the mountain. But it winds around and back up into the state forest. And then we came upon this really cool overlook once. And it was pretty awesome. I want to go back out there again and maybe make a video just of that, included. When I take my dogs, I think we'll just explore that whole state forest area one day. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so now we're coming down the mountain, and it's kind of a nice drive down through here, except if you have to get stuck behind a truck because they have a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit coming down through here. There's no runaway ramp, so if their brakes get hot, that can get a bit scary. Anyway, I will I'll resume the video here in a few minutes. So we just came to the foot of the mountain. We'll wind around a little bit down here, and then it'll bring us into a little town up here. Kind of just a little blip on the map. It's called Pleasantville. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard that trucking song called Wolf Creek Pass. It's about a mountain pass out in Colorado, and I've been over that pass too. That is an amazing ride, and I always kind of related this little Pleasantville Mountain to that, although it's nothing as big or mighty or long or steep. But it always reminded me about coming down into the town at the bottom of the mountain. And in the song, it's Pagosa Springs, and here it's Pleasantville. I don't know why. It's just some silly little stupid thing I've thought of, ever since I was young, when I hear that song and I'm driving down this road. Anyway, once I get my cargo trailer and the kids and I take off next year, maybe we'll be able to get some real footage of the big mountain out there in Colorado. That'd be kind of cool. So here's our little town, and little town of Pleasantville. I don't know how pleasant it is. I've never lived here. But it's just a little blip on the map until you get through. We'll be back in a few minutes. So we have about, I don't know, maybe about 12 miles to go yet to get to where I'm going. And I'm going to make a turn off up here. Take another side road. Simply because I just like taking those little shortcut roads in the country. As you can see, this is a pretty popular route here it's a major route to get from the east side of Johnstown and toward, for the truckers going toward the east, like now toward Baltimore and DC, they come this way to get down onto the interstate. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's no snow over here on the ground. I prefer this. So we're going to turn off here. Little town of Reynoldsdale. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to load us all up in the car and we'd come over here. And if you look directly in front there, that red brick building area, that is a fish culture station, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. We called it the fish hatchery. And Dad would bring us over here, and they used to let you in to see stuff. I don't know if they still do that or not, because I haven't been here in many, many years. I mean, wow. It's been over 50 years because, let's see, I'll be 63 soon, and I think I was younger than 10 years old when Dad brought us over here. So it was a long, long time ago. That brings back some really nice memories. I guess that's why I like driving around out in the country so much. What are some of the memories that you have that you really enjoy, that makes you feel good? I have lots of them. I just like to look around when I'm driving. There are some snow flurries here in the air, like coming down, but nothing's sticking. It's a little bit warmer here. It's 30 degrees here according to my thermometer on the dash, the outside temperature, and when I left home it was only 21 degrees there. So it's a little warmer over here. And I'm not sure what this little creek that runs along the road here, I'm not sure what that's called. But in the summertime and spring, I've seen people fishing in it. But I can't remember what the name of it is. So, Bob's Creek, that's what it's called, Bob's Creek. Yeah. I knew I'd see the sign for it soon. One thing about getting old is, like, sometimes you forget crap a lot easier. Yeah, well, and then sometimes you're just an airhead like me sometimes too. And I've always been kind of like that a little bit. Not a lot. But as I get older, I find sometimes it starts to plague me more and more. But that's okay. Somebody has to be goofy, right? Looks like all their yards over here have water in them, and I think they get a little bit of flooding down in this area sometimes. Yep, there's the creek beside the road there. I think you can see it. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'd want to live right there on one of those lower lying lots, because it looks like you could wake up with your flip-flops floating. So we're almost there, and sorry, I lose my track of time. Sometimes I start looking around and I forget what I was going to say, but that's okay. I guess if you're still watching, you don't mind, right? Or you're laughing at me going, oh, I thought I was the only one that did that stuff. I just love looking at the farms. They're so beautiful. And just the farmland, and that's what built this country, is people like that. People, hard workers. I just love it. There's a little camp over there. I guess that must be for kids. So we're getting really close. I'm gonna go pick up my chicken. And what do you guys do to prepare? I mean, do you buy a lot of food in bulk? Or how do you feed your dogs? Do you feed them kibbles, or do you feed them raw? Mine are raw fed. Although I do buy kibbles as a backup, just in case, I couldn't get the meat for them. But I would say they're like 98% raw fed. They get kibbles every once in a while. Number one, they love it, so I kind of give it as a little bit of a treaty, with their other food sometimes. But I just kind of like to, when I can afford to get this stuff, I get as much as I can afford to get at the time. And so, what do you do? Tell me in the comments what you guys do. Do you buy it for you? Do you freeze it? Do you can it? How do you save your food and things like that? That's something that a lot of people are thinking about nowadays, you know, when a lot of the old ways are becoming way more popular again. And I'm really glad that I grew up where I did, and that my mom and dad did the things they did. And at the time when I was young, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, you know, to the canning and all that stuff. I mean, I helped a little bit here and there when we were kids, but that wasn't something I was real interested in. However, even so, you learn it, and you see and you remember how to do it, and the little things that you don't remember, it's so easy to look up now and figure it out, you know. So I'm very thankful that I grew up where I did and had the parents that I did, and they showed us how to live and raise animals and grow food. So anyway, I guess I just got off on that. But isn't this a cute little road? I don't even know the name of this road. I know how to get through here. I don't have to follow the GPS anymore when I come over here this way. But I don't know the name of it, so it's now this is definitely not a road I would be taking in bad weather, because as you can see, it's quite narrow here and curvy in some places, and there's no guardrail or anything in some of these areas on this road, but that's okay. It's okay. And see that there's the creek, part of the creek down there, the river, or the creek. Yeah, I know we talk funny here, right? So we're almost, I think we're less than a mile from where I'm going now. So, all right, yeah, there we are. There's the highway up ahead, the highway that I avoided coming over here. Okay. Well, I don't know, I might have to wait, because they get really busy over here when they have their days for the pickup for these bulk orders. And the pickup days are only on Friday and Saturdays. And some days it is so busy that you can barely get in the parking lot. So I'm hoping today is not that, but it doesn't look too bad. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look too bad today. Yeah, I may not have to wait in line. Okay, well, I'm going to pull in here and get my chicken. I'll show you a little bit of the route on the way back home. See ya.